Today we are going to discuss about logistics invoice verification or simply invoice verification in SAP MM. We'll go to the slide. So what is the first? Okay. What is the transaction code used to post or enter an invoice? MIRO. Okay, you can enter this in the command field or you can use menu path as specified here in this slide. Okay, let us see how we can access uh, invoice verification transaction in SAP. Okay, we'll go here, we'll type in MIRO and press enter key, or you can click this. Okay, we'll press enter key. Can you see? It's taking a bit of what I do. Let me stop this transaction. Should not take this much time. So what we'll do, we'll go here. Okay, let me create another session. Okay, so now the session is open. So what we'll do is, okay, the another transaction also reset. Let us close this and close the favorites, keep this, and we'll remove the second session which is not required. We'll keep it here. What is the transaction code? MIRO. Enter the transaction code MIRO and press enter key, right? Yes. Can you see? Whenever you go into Miro screen, okay, so this, if let us assume that if you are entering for the first time, it will ask you to specify the company code for which we are doing invoice verification. Okay, why we need to specify the company code? Accounting is done at which level? Company code level. Okay, so it is a legal liability for every company code. See, any business client can have multiple company codes. Okay, so at company code level, we have to produce the balance sheet for the legal requirement. Okay, so if you want to produce a balance sheet the company code level, and if I am doing the invoice verification for the procured materials or services in a plant, okay, so what I'll do, I will do the invoice verification of the company code to which this plant is assigned. Now our plant is assigned with uh, company code 1212. Okay, press enter. Can you see? This is the screen for incoming invoice. Can you see? Enter incoming invoice in company code 1212. Why? I have given that company code is 121. Suppose let us say I have accidentally entered in a wrong company code, then how I can switch the company code? No need to go back. Okay, what we have to do? Edit, switch company code. Again the pop-up will come here. If it is not 1212, we'll give the 1212 and come in. Because it's already 1212, it's fine. Let us leave it. Just close this. Okay, now can you see what system? I already told. What is this? This is called status bar. Okay, this is called status bar. Now and this is S4 HANA. Be clear, S4 HANA 1909. It is the latest S4 HANA version. Okay, please keep in mind we are doing all the exercises, and I'm recording all the videos in S4 HANA only. Okay, all right. and we'll cover entire SAP MM in this S4 HANA environment, and I will keep on telling SAP MM, but wherever there is a change in S4 HANA for SAP MM, so I will explain you such additions, okay, and deletions also will be there, right? Those things we can discuss. Now, what it's saying, system is asking what is invoice date and what is the posting date. Similar to goods receipt, okay, invoice date is nothing but the date on which you want to post this invoice. It need not be today's date, okay? Okay, it can be today's date or any other date, cannot be future date, right? But posting date, it can be today's date or any other date, correct? Suppose I received the invoice yesterday itself, but I forgot to post the invoice, or my business hours are over, so my business hours were completed, and so what I'll do, I will try to post the invoice today, specifying what I'll do. Can I take the, I need to enter the date, or I can choose it? Yes, you can enter the date or you can choose the date. I'll choose the date. What is the today's date? It will be highlighted 13th. Sorry. So it will be highlighted. Okay. Okay. Now, if the invoice, and I am posting this document today, but if I want to post the invoice for yesterday's date, what I'll do? I'll put like this, correct? Like that, okay? So instead of that, we'll put both the dates same, okay? All right. So you got right invoice date and posting. Let us go to the slide once. Okay. What is the next slide? So this is a Miro screen, how it looks like. Okay. Now, so Miro screen similar to purchase order and screen and Migo screen, that is goods receipt screen, a goods movement screen. See, even Miro also has sub screens. Okay, Miro screens divided into sub screens, correct? So it is divided into sub screens. Okay, first is header data. This is header data. Okay, it will be collapsed once you allocate a line item in the allocation. This is called header. Okay, okay, and next we have allocation area. This is called allocation area. What is allocation area? You can allocate a document for which you want to do the invoice verification. Okay, I can do invoice verification for the following documents, correct? Can you see? This is allocation area, PO reference, and where I can use a purchase order or schedule agreement, or I can use delivery note, I can use bill of lading, I can do a invoice verification for a service entry sheet. Okay, based if I give supplier, if I enter the supplier, all the invoices pending for verification will propose. Okay, so like this you can do. Now, as of now, it is a simple purchase. If it is a simple invoice verification based on the purchase order created and based on the goods receipt created in the previous videos, we will refer to the same purchase order and will create the invoice, or we will post the invoice. Okay, what you will do here? So this is called allocation area. Okay, all right. Okay, okay. Now, header data subscreen can be collapsed or expanded. Okay, when it can be collapsed or expanded? What it says, it's collapsed or closed. It is saying hide. So I'll write header data subscreen can be website DTM hidden or let us see. I think it should be open. Hidden or open, right? So, okay, each subscreen consists of tab pages. There is no multiple subscreens, right? Here only I can write header subscreen consists of tab pages, correct? It has basic data tab, it has payments tab, and details tab, it has tax tab. Okay, like that. Contacts tab is there, note is there. Okay, like that. Different tab pages are available in the invoice header, right? Now, each tab consists of fields, correct? Can you see this? It has fields, right? Go to payment tab. Okay, and go to details tab, right? Okay, all right, tax, contacts, okay, and fields, can you see processor, invoice receipt processor, can I change it? No, it is taking the user who is processing this particular transaction, Miro. My user ID is S4ABAP7. All right, so okay, now the fields can be hidden or ready for input. That we know that is a concept of SAP, how it handles with the fields of the tab pages of the subscreens. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. Okay, now business transaction. Okay, invoice. Okay, invoice, can you see list field, transaction or event? We have to choose this transaction or event. Similar to goods received, goods movement, we were choosing, right? Goods received, is it goods received or is it goods issue? We have to choose, right, what kind of business transaction, what kind of transaction you are doing using invoice. Can you see here? You can post an invoice, you can post a credit memo, you can post a subsequent debit, you can post a subsequent credit. Invoice means, suppose if I had ordered 10 piece at the rate of 10 euro per piece, then what I'll receive? I'll receive an invoice for 10 into 10 for 100 euros. I'll receive the invoice. All right. Okay. Now, what is next? Suppose subsequent debit and subsequent credit. Okay, now we have a good relation with the supplier and we trust the supplier. So what happens is, I ordered the goods at 10 euro per piece, at 12 euro per piece, and I ordered 10 pieces. All right. Okay, so then supplier has sent me the invoice 10 euro per piece, that is 100 euros. He has sent the invoice, but whereas I ordered the goods at which price? I agreed with the supplier at 12 euro per piece. That means he has to send at 120 euros, right? Though, so what he will do, he will send a subsequent debit saying that 2 euro per piece, that will be 20 euros difference amount, he will send the subsequent debit. Okay. Similarly, in another case, let us say for some material 2, earlier case was for material 1, now for material 2, we have send a purchase order for 10 euro per piece, but and received the goods 10 pieces, that is worth of 100 euros. But yeah, we have received the invoice from the supplier at 12 euro per piece, that is 120 euros. We have posted it. So while verification, it was in tolerances, company code specific tolerances. 20 euros was posted to small differences for supplier procurement, for procurement activity. So then, but the supplier has a good relation with us, right? He realized that the supplier realized that he had overcharged us. If he had overcharged, if they had overcharged, what they'll do? They will not cheat us, right? We have a good relation with the supplier. Then what they'll do? They'll send a subsequent credit note, subsequent credit for 20 euros, 2 euro per piece. Okay, that will be 20 euros. Then what will do? What will choose? Subsequent credit. Similarly, we have a credit memo scenario also. So, okay, we will discuss the credit memo scenario when it comes. So, now we understood that. Simply, we will do now invoice. All right, we'll go to the invoice. Okay, now we have seen the business transactions. Next, we'll go to the next slide. So, allocation area. Okay, what is the in allocation area? We have to choose the there are two things. Okay, one is TM. What is TM? We will see it later. Now, PO reference. In PO reference, this is called reference document category. What is the document category we have to choose here? Earlier, as I discussed, we can use any of this document category. But as of now, we are doing the invoice receipt for the purchase order. Okay, let us keep that. Okay, then what is this? Purchasing document, because we have given purchase order or scheduling agreement as a reference, purchase order, purchasing document. So what SAP says, don't remember anything. I will assist you in searching the document. Can you see here? Can you see here? F4 is there. Okay. Okay, what you'll do is, okay, okay, so we'll press F4 here. If you press F4, we'll get a selection screen, and we know the invoice supplier, right? 2572. Okay, do we have material? Yes, we have the material. Let us do. If we know, okay, if you know the supplier, you can enter. If you know the supplier, you can enter. But what we'll do, we'll enter the material number. Z. We know the material number. Z mat 3. Correct. We have created 2 purchase orders. Correct. But we have used 1 purchase order for doing the goods receipt. Okay. It is also asking the supplier. Okay, we'll enter the supplier. Enter. Okay, then what we'll do, we'll simply execute. How many purchase orders we'll get? 1. Why? We have done the GR for this purchase order only. Correct? All right. So this is 1 purchase order. Okay. So what we'll do, so I think, okay, somebody might have used our purchase order. So they might have did the, okay, let us take how to do the invoice. So how many pieces we ordered? ZMAT 3, 10, right? 10, let us first select this, copy, press enter. Okay, always when you choose something, you have to press enter. Okay. How many we got? So then it is very strange. Why did not display the? Let us go and examine the purchase order. Okay, we'll click the purchase order. You can branch to purchase order. Okay, we have to specify the baseline date. Okay, this baseline date. What is the significance of this baseline date? The significance of baseline date. Let me first choose the baseline date. What is the significance of this baseline date? The baseline date significance is, can you see here it is grayed out, but it is pulling the baseline date from payments tab to first screen, okay, first tab page. So what is the significance of baseline date? It is the base date for calculating the supplier cash discount. Okay, cash discounts we will examine in the invoice verification lesson. See, suppose if supplier says that from the baseline date within 10 days I'll give you 10%, within 20 days I'll give you 4%, 30 days you have to pay completely. Correct? That is what called as payment. That is what called those are called as payment terms. For a payment terms, you should have a baseline date, right? That's why we have to specify the baseline date in the invoice header. Okay, in the invoice header, in which tab? Payment tab you have to enter. All right, all right. So click this. Now first let us go back to the purchase order. Let us examine why did not show the. You can branch to purchase order before saving the invoice. Okay, let us go to purchase order. I think you remember, right? We have done the, okay. Now we can close the item overview. It will maximize. Okay, 6 pieces received for first line item. Okay, why? Yes, now I got it. Why it did not display? Yes, we'll go back. You have entered in the search criterion. Let me remove the allocation once. Remove this and press enter. Automatically allocation will be removed. What we'll do now is we'll go on F4 here again. Now we enter supplier only. Don't enter anything. Okay. Then let us see whether it asks for, yeah, company code is mandatory. Okay, now you execute. Now all the purchase orders will come. Correct? Now you expand the 63. Now we will get both the line items. Earlier we have restricted to only mat 3, right? Okay, that's the reason. If you know both the materials, how we can enter? You can go here, multiple lines. Click on there. You enter here ZMAT 3 and ZMAT 4. All right, execute. Now if you execute, 2 line items will come. Execute. Now you see, expand. If you want to select only one line, you have to select this. If you want to adapt both the lines, allocate. Okay, copy. And after allocation, you have to press enter key. Earlier we have seen it. Can you see? Now header is collapsible. Only after allocation, the header is hidden. Can you see now? Yes. Open that. Alright. Now we have seen about the reference document category, and we have done the allocation. We'll go to the next slide. What are the quick action tools are there? Hold, simulate, post, save will come one by one. Other invoice document, reverse, messages, help. Okay, help is nothing but this one. If you click on this help, what it will do? It will tell you how to work with Miro transaction. It will tell you completely. If you click on each thing, what happens? It will tell you what is what. Okay, close it. Now help is over. Messages. Can you see messages? Red. Okay. Click on this messages. Can you see balance not 0? Okay. Credit 0. Debit 300. Okay. We are done. Okay. Credit 0. Debits are 300. Balance not 0. 300 minus. Sorry. I'm sorry. Balance is not 0. What it is saying? Yeah. Just look at. Credit 0. Debits you have done. What is debit value? These two. Okay. 6 into 10, 60, and 20 into 12, 240. 240 plus 60, 300. Debits 300. You have to offset, right? For every entry, there should be equal and opposite entry. Where it will go? This 300 we received, correct? And where it will go? It will offset to supplier. Okay. It will offset to supplier. Now simply what you have to do, scroll up. You simply make a habit in the initial days. Copy this and remove the sign. Now you see balance becomes 0. Can you see balance becomes 0 and messages went off? Okay. Now we have understood even balance also. Balance also is significant. Okay. Hold simulate and balance should be 0. Okay, balance should be 0. Balance should be 0. Then only you can do the simulation. Okay, you can simulate now. Okay, before that, messages are gone. Now we'll go to the next slide. We'll understand other areas. Then we'll come back to posting. PO structure. Now you see. What is PO structure? You see. See, whatever allocation you have done, line item, see, can you see allocation means you have to select this. See, when you allocate for the first time, system will select automatically. But if you remove it, okay, and press enter, what happens you see. Okay. Okay. I'll explain what is the significance of this selection. Okay. Now, this selection is equal to item OK in goods receipt. In goods receipt, if you choose item OK, then only it will be posted, right? Considered for posting, right? But in invoice, if you select the line item, then only it will be considered for posting in this document. But there is item OK indicator here. Booking OK indicator. This is only for your reference. It doesn't make a difference whether you choose or don't choose. Then you may ask, why SAP has given this? Yes. The reason being, suppose vendor supplied invoice for multiple purchase orders and he has supplied around 200 line items. But after seeing line by line each supplier invoice line, I'll come back here and I'll see the purchase order number is this and line item 1 is this, line item 1 is this, and one. If I verify everything, I'll say tick, fine, okay, it's fine. If this is not good, but then what I'll do, I'll simply deselect. Then what happens? Line item 2, even though allocated and we have demarked it. So that means it will not be allocated again. There is an option, can you see? Refresh. Okay. If you do refresh, it will automatically delete the second line item. Okay. Okay. Now you forgot the allocate. Now you got the allocation removed, right? How to get that? Again, go back here. Okay. Then search here. Give the supplier. Then execute here. Which line item you have to allocate? Second line item. Only choose this now. Copy. Now it will be copied. Now you see now two line items are there. Okay, only one has come. So that means what we'll do, simply we'll remove all, and we'll remove here. Simply instead of searching, simply you can enter also. Both the line items will come. If you don't know the PO number, what we'll do? We'll simply go for search, and we'll remove this number, and I'll click on F4. I'll give the supplier. Is a repetition, please be careful. Okay, think something. System got hanged, I think so. Okay, it's fine, it came. Now give the supplier and execute now, and select the line item. Choose C, look at the line items. Yes, it's fine. Select the purchase order, header level, copy, press enter. Now, yes, we have done the allocation. Now, come here. What is the PO structure? Actually, PO structure is it displays the allocated document history basically. PO structure is nothing but what happened to this PO. Okay, for PO, let me expand this structure. You can see, right? Double click here, 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 double click. Keep it here. Now, what did it say? Line item 10, what is allocation? JETMAT. Now, you can see the material number here. Material 3, correct? Yes. Material 3, line item 10 is material 3. Okay, what is that? 10 we ordered. How much we received in the invoice? Goods received 6 pieces. That much only allocation is done. And material 4, how much we received? 20. We ordered 20, we received 20. Correct? So 240 worth. When we received, when the goods receipt was done? 11/9. Today what is the date? 13th. Now we can hide the POs. Okay, I have studied it and I have understood what was happened for the purchase order, what happened to goods receipt. Okay, fine, I can do that. I verify the supplier invoice. Now I'll go to the header and I see that balance is 300. Now, okay, now work list. What is this work list? Can you see? Now, if I hold now I don't have the reference number as of now. Reference number can be internal reference number or supplier invoice reference number. Okay. Work list, that's what I'm going to tell now. Suppose if I don't have invoice number, what happens is you can hold it. Where it will go and sit? Just like holding the goods movement document. Okay, show work list. See, you can hold the document, you can park the document, you can make the document save as complete. Okay, now if you see our present document, balance is 0, and you can simulate it. Okay, as of now we don't want to deal with any tax code. What we'll do is we'll simply remove the tax code. Okay, let us in the simple now we'll remove allocation ones, otherwise we have to change in every line item. Okay, choose the tax code as this and purchasing document as this. Okay, now the balance is, now you simulate what happens. You see how much one GL account is. GL account, GRIR clearing account. What is that GRIR clearing account? I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you now. So GRIR clearing account is 300 of the procurement value, and it is offsetting to 300. Whom it is offsetting? It is vendor's liability. Okay, okay, all right. Close this. Now you can post it. It is ready for posting. okay, or you can do back if you want to re-examine. Now if the document status is in green, and this is called posted, can be posted, okay. You see, if you post also, it will be like posted, green means now it is green, no, can be posted, balance is 0, I can post it very well, save is equal to post, similar to goods receipt. Now invoice document, you have a can you see switch to document parking is there, okay, you can park this document, okay, like that you can do. If you do that, what happens is, if you park the document, what happens, it will go to work list in the parked document, okay, parked documents, and later stage I can come back here and I can post the document, okay. What is document hold means, you can hold the document in error state, okay. What is the error state? You see, I'll remove the you know credits amount. Now it is error, right? I can very well hold it. Save current document status, save as it is means hold, okay. Invoice document, then go to switch to document parking, or you can go to you can hold the document. If you hold this, now it will come here. If you park it, you cannot park. If you park, you can park it also now. If you park it, it will come here, okay. And save as complete. Once the document is ready for posting, you can save as complete also. All right, now that is work list. This is a separate topic, how to handle, how to hold the document, how to park the document, how to save the document in a save as complete mode. That will deal in a separate lesson. As of now, we understood what is work list. So work list can be hidden, and we can be we can show the work list, right? Can be turned on, show or hide, okay. So I have written PO structure is show, hide. What I'll write here now, can be show or hide. I'll write simply show or hide. We'll use the exact terminology what SAP says, correct? So work list also show or hide. Work list also hide. And what is this? But it's fine, ignore it. SAP has represented like that. All right. Now we'll go here, okay. I will explain you account postings simple manner after this posting this invoice, okay. Otherwise what we'll do, yeah, so let me explain in remaining things, then we will not post until we explain all the areas, okay. Now we understood what is follow on document. We'll come back, okay. Hold, we understood. Simulate, we understood. We understood balance, we understood post. Save and post both are same. We'll understand other invoice document, reverse messages. Messages we understood, help we understood, okay. We'll go to the next slide. Yes, okay. Follow on documents I'll explain you once I post the invoice document, okay. These are the values we have to give input, okay. We'll go to the next slide. Can you see here, business transaction we have selected, right? Yes. What is a business transaction? Invoice. What is the business transaction? Invoice. And then invoice date we have selected, correct? Posting date we have selected. Reference we have to enter. Reference we'll give ref 4. I'll give ref 4, okay. I'll give ref 4, okay. If you want to give the purchase order number as a reference, you can give that also, right? Somewhat system is hanging sometimes. Let us see how it works, okay. You can give purchase order number also. You want to give purchase order number like this, you can give, but it's not required, but it will give for our practice purpose. You can very well give. See, simply I give this as a reference. I can give that. It is simply, it's a free text basically. This is called a free text field. Okay, you can write like this. Okay, or you can give ref4. Okay, ref4 will give. All right, now reference we have given. Now baseline date we understood and we have given. Amount also we have entered. Amount, what is amount? Here we have entered. All right, and tax code selected for default or defaulted for PO. As of now we are not dealing. We are not dealing in simple invoice. Okay, we'll write this way. We are considering invoice without tax. Without tax. Without tax. So we are selected. So without tax, but still no tax also we have to choose. What we have chosen? Selected B0. Correct? Selected B0. No tax procedure. Okay. We'll deal, dealing with taxes in invoice is a separate lesson. Okay, that will deal it. As of now, we'll keep it as V0. Now, what is the next one? Company code. Company code we had selected while entering into Miro transaction. Reference document category we have selected, right? What you have selected? Purchase order. We have selected purchase order / scheduling agreement. Correct? We have selected. Tax amount entered 300 we entered. Okay, we have entered 300. So we have entered it. Correct? And oh, I'm sorry. Tax amount we have not entered. Very much sorry. We'll see. We have entered amount as 300. So enter tax amount. We'll see what is the tax amount. Can you see here? Go to the tax tab. Calculate tax checkbox is there. This is checkbox. Select this and enter. Press enter. Okay, go to basic data. What is the tax amount? 0. Correct? From where it is calculated? It is calculated in the tax tab, and it comes here in the basic data tab. Okay, that means tax is calculated. Okay, calculated. You can enter manually also, but always use calculation function by the system. Manually also we can enter. We can enter manually. Where you can enter manually? In the tax tab of the header subscreen. Correct? Tax tab of the header tax tab. You can go here. Before this you have to enter. Okay. Once you calculate this, you cannot enter. But if you want, you can delete this row. Okay. If there is a 10% tax code is there for 300, you can enter manually 300 also. All right. All right. So now everything. How much you entered? Reference we have entered. How we entered? Supplier reference. Supplier. Okay, okay. Reference we have entered, right? Where we have entered reference? Here, reference 4. So we entered ref4. Ref4 we have entered, and today's date, baseline date we have done today's date. Then tax code we have selected, tax amount we asked the system to calculate. uh, okay, company code selected prior entering invoice. You can switch the company code. Switch the company code is possible before allocation. Possible before allocation. Before allocating the document. Okay, reference category we have choose selected. Yes, selected. We have selected. Then reference document number, what we did, we searched for this based on what? Based on supplier and company code. Based on supplier and company code. Correct? Yes. What we entered, we'll keep this. Here we give. Okay. We'll remove this. Okay, based on okay. Now reference document item number adopted from the allocation. Correct? We have selected a PO, right? Then it came then adopted PO. Okay. Okay, there is one field actually quantity was not there. Okay. Okay, I should add one line. Okay, so can you see here? Let me copy this. Now, before the quantity will come here. Can you see invoice indicator? Scroll to the right. Scroll to the right. So what we'll do, we'll simply drag this. We'll simply drag this. Can you see here? Item type and information. Yeah, item type. What is item type? It can be, suppose the PO line item has plan and delivery cost. At the time of purchase order itself, you can plan the delivery cost. Suppose if delivery costs are there, what we have to choose? Both. Okay. If supplier has sent both the delivery cost as well as goods cost, then you have to choose this. But supplier sometimes will first send the delivery cost only, then you have to choose this. If supplier send only material cost, we have to choose this. But in our case, we are doing only for the materials, right? So that's why it is goods / services. Let it be there. This is called item type. What is item type? Invoice line item type. Next, can you see this layout? See, these fields are there, right? These columns are there, right? Columns are nothing but fields of the line item. So that can be changed based on the layout. We can create layouts in the configuration that is done by SAP MM consultant. That is, we do that. But as of now, for invoice verification basics, simply we'll keep it as all information. Just leave it. Okay. Okay. So that means invoice line item, what it controls? It controls the fields available for invoice line items. Okay. Item okay. Can you see? Selected. Optional entry aid for comparing with supplier invoice line items. Right? It is optional. Whether you select or not, don't select, doesn't matter. It is only for entry aid. Matching. For matching. Okay, I kept the supplier invoice in front of me. Okay, this line item. Okay, this PO. Okay, fine. I have done it, verified. Okay, then I'll go to the this second line item is the 60th line item of the suppliers invoice list. Then I'll see that 60. Okay, this is also nice. Okay, let me select this. But whether you select or don't select doesn't make a difference. Okay, what I'll do, I'll not select. You observe whether you post the line item or not. Yes, it will post. See, if you simulate itself, it is known. How many line items are there? 2 line items, correct? One is 60, another is 240. All right. Does it has any significance? No significance. Whether you choose or don't choose, it is only an entry aid. Okay. But what is significance? Whether you select or deselect the line item, that is the significance. Okay. Right. Okay. Then when you deselect and if you want to delete the line item, there is no delete button. Just deselect and refresh. Then it will remove the all deselected line items from the invoice being posted. Okay, and you have such option is there, all this stuff. Okay, so that's fine. I think we have done all the. There is one thing, quantity is defaulted from the purchase order, goods receipt, correct? How much we ordered? 10 we ordered, but we received 20 only. Open the PO structure. For line item 1 of the invoice, which is the line item 10 of the purchase order, we ordered 10, we received 6. Fine, it is suggesting 6 receipts and the corresponding value is 60, amount is 60, and 20 we ordered for the line material 4. If you are, if we are getting confused, what we can do is just like Windows, we can drag and drop the material number. How we can do? Let me see. Okay, simply you select this line item just like Windows. Can you see how I did that? Okay. So you open the PO structure now. Can you see what happened? Okay, fine. The what do you call, the layout is controlling that. It is again pulling back there. Okay, let it be there. No problem. We'll drag this column. Okay, what we'll do is now we'll open the PO structure. We'll open the PO structure. So for material 3, okay, for material 3, 10 we ordered and received 6. So it is proposing 6 into 10, 60, correct, which is correct. I said, okay, I verified with the supplier invoice and it is fine. And the second line item, 20 we ordered, 20 ordered, 20 received. Okay, it is also fine. But to demonstrate that whether you select or don't select, booking indicator, this is called item OK or booking indicator. This is, don't get confused with that is why it is given as booking OK indicator. There in goods receipt, in MeGo screen, it is item OK indicator. So we'll rename this booking OK indicator. Okay, booking OK indicator for booking OK simply. So optional entry 8 for comparing with supplier invoice line item. Okay, we have done that. Selected. Okay, and invoice line layout also we selected. Okay, invoice indicator, what we have selected, all information. This what we have selected. Let me close the PO structure. Goods slash service items. Goods slash service items. And what is the key? 1. And what is the layout we have selected? 7_6310. All information layout we have selected. All information layout we have selected. Okay. All right. So quantity here we have we have let me, can I add insert, yes, insert row below. Let me minimize this table and let me pull this up. What I'll do, I'll copy I'll copy it. Okay. Okay, I'll write here quantity x. Not a problem. So we'll take the quantity invoice quantity invoice quantity. Okay, defaulted. We have entered 6 for line item 1, 20 for line item 2 of the invoice. So what we did here, we accepted defaulted quantities defaulted quantities defaulted quantities from the defaulted quantities from the purchase order, right? Now let me all right. So we have entered all this. Now we'll go back. Simulate, we have done it, right? We'll go back. Simply we'll post it. Okay, we'll post the document. Okay, save is equal to how much it will post? 300 to the GRIR clearing account. I will explain you what is GRIR clearing account now. Okay, and it will offset to supplier liability. Okay, now post. Can you see document number 51056000758 created? Now we'll understand what is this other. This is other invoice document. Now we'll go to the slide. So other invoice document. Do I need to go back and come inside to display this? No, just like Migo, not required. Click on this other, and always remember invoice document, if you specify, you must specify the invoice year, fiscal year, financial year. Maybe this same document is available in the last year. So what we have to do, when you specify the accounting document, you should also specify fiscal year for selection. Okay, or press enter, continue. Now we come back here. Can you see? Follow on document. Next slide will go. Follow on documents. It displays the accounting documents related to the displayed invoice / credit memo. Now this is the invoice we posted. Follow on documents, you see. Follow on documents are nothing but accounting documents. Can you see here? What is the vendor liability? 300. Material 3 how much? 6 piece, 6 into 10, 60. And JetMat 4. Material 4 how much? 20 into 12, 240. 240 plus 60, 300 is offset to whom? Supplier. How much we are liable for the supplier? 300 euros, correct? Now this invoice is done in which department? Logistics invoice verification, that is in SAP MM, correct? Now what is the next step? Next will be financial accounting invoice verification, is nothing but payment program, correct? You have to run the payment program for supplier 2572 for how much? 300 euros. That who will do that? Financial accounting clerk will do in real-time business. Okay, all right. Now we have seen that. Now we'll go here. We'll go to the next slide. Can you see now? What are the effects of, I'm sorry here, I'll change this. What are the effects of the invoice posting? Effects of the invoice posting, okay, or invoice entry. You can say that invoice entry or invoice posting. Okay. Invoice document is created. Yes, it is created. What is the document number? This is the document number. This is the financial year. Okay, created. This is created, right? Now we can say that yes, it is created. That is the document number. Fiscal year is 2020. So not required. Okay, for our understanding of this. Now, accounting document is created and we can see that in following document. What is the accounting document number? This is the accounting document number. So we can see that it is yes. Now, PO history is updated. We'll see. We'll come back. Can you see here? Can you identify here? Reference is there. Company code is mandatory. See, when you are speaking about any financial accounting document, two things are very important. Fiscal year, company code. Fiscal year and company code must be specified for the document. Okay, when you are speaking to someone. Okay. All right. So now PO history is updated. Now go back. Let us see the PO structure before going to PO history. Can you see? First line item. How much we ordered? We ordered 10. Received 6. Received 6. Invoice 6. 60. What is the document number? What is the goods receipt material document number? What is invoice document number? Is it the same? What is invoice document number? Same, right? Yes. And what is the line item 20? Material 4. How much goods received? 20 ordered, 20 received. When received? 12 9. When is the invoice done? 13 we have done. How much we received? 20 invoice we posted. We verified and posted. What is the document number? Both are same. Right? PO structure. Alright. PO history is updated. How we can see PO history? No need to display ME23N. Simply double click here. We'll go to the purchase order history for line item 10. What happened? Invoice and make a note. Headings are from the bottom and documents are on the top. Invoice receipt is corresponding is this. How much invoice we have done? 6. How much? 60 euros. Okay. Okay. And I want to show you one thing here. Go to header and go to delivery invoice tab. I'm sorry, conditions. Wait. Let me show you one thing. The header somewhere status. Can you see the status? How much we ordered? Material 3, 10 pieces. Material 2, 20 pieces. 30 we ordered. Delivered how much? 6 piece first line item material 3 and 20 pieces second line item 26. Still to delivered is 4. Which are those 4? First line item ZMAT 3, 40 euros we have to still deliver, and invoiced is how much? 26, correct? 300 worth we paid. Ordered value 340, delivered value 300, invoice value 300. Okay, any down payment we have done? No, we have not done any down payment. So how much still to be delivered? 40. Still to be invoiced? 40. How much delivered? 300. How much payment done? 300. Yes. In the header status tab, we can see the status of the ordered value, still to delivered, and the invoiced value. Okay, we can evaluate still to invoiced from these parameters. Okay, now we'll go to item detail. So we'll go to second line item. How we can go? Simply click on this second line. How much we close the item overview. So how much we ordered? 20 we ordered, 20 we received. Okay, all right. Now we'll go back to the invoice. And I said one more thing here. Reverse. There is a reverse, right? Can you see? Reverse. We have covered everything. Post we have seen. Save also, no, nothing but post. Reverse. Other invoice document we have seen it. Reverse we will see. What is reverse? Simply if you click this reverse, no, whatever you posted 300 worth, it will be accidentally I posted incorrect, let us say reference was wrong or something, some corrections I have to do. See, once a document is posted in SAP, you cannot make any corrections other than reversals only. Okay, otherwise people keep on playing with the documentation, right? So we can do the reversal. So this reversal we can see it in a separate topic. Okay. All right. So with this we complete invoice verification basics, and yes, I already told that I will explain you simple accounting how it works. Let me what we'll do is we'll open another slide. Let me open this slides. So let me create a new slide. Okay, let me draw this, insert a text box. Okay, then what I'll do, I'll make it as gallery, I'll make it as 32, make it as gallery. Now let us say like this, PO. So let us say material is ZMAT3. Okay, to avoid confusion, I'll write some other material, ZMAT 6 I'll write, because we worked with MAT3 and MAT4. Okay. So I'll simply write for material 6. Material number is material 6, and I raised a PO 10 each at the rate of €10 per. So instead of for each. Okay. Then what happened was, okay, so supplier is 2572, and GR we received how much? GR, let us say GR is 10 piece, 10 each at the rate of GR 10 piece. Then what happens is, whenever we do this, GR, what are the accounting entries are entered? Okay, inventory. Okay, inventory will be inventory debited with debit with, okay, debit. How much debit? Inventory is 10 into 10. How much? €100. And it will offset to, why it should offset? It is for as per double entry system. Just basics I am telling you. I will take a separate lesson for entire financial accounting basics. Just don't get worried. Just time being, what is the credit? If it is debiting to one GL account, another GL account, how much it will offset? It should offset same amount. So that means for a debit entry, they should be equal and opposite entry. What is opposite entry? Credit, correct? Okay, debit, okay, right. Now, offset to which GL account? Sorry, I'll write the GL account name. GL account name is GRIR clearing account. Now, why this GRIR clearing account is required? You know why it is required? Are you paying at the time of goods receipt? You are not paying. So that means double entry system demands that if you do inventory up by €100, where you are offsetting? I need an offsetting entry. So that is who is compelling us to do this entry? Financial accounting rules says that if you make an entry debit, you must offset. Where you offset, you decide. Then ERP software SAP, what they did is, they said that it is GRIR clearing account. Why GRIR clearing account? Means at the time of GR, some entries will be entered, for this line item of the PO, and some entries will come, one entry will come at the time of invoice. Okay, after explaining this, I'll put it in the Excel format. Okay, that will be better actually. Now the same thing I'll show you in Excel also. Wait. Okay, now invoice is two entries over, right? According to financial accounting rules, all set, all are clear. Now we received the invoice from the supplier invoice. This is what we call is at the time of GR. We'll write at the time of goods receipt, accounting entries at the time of goods receipt. Okay, so what I'll do, simply I'll reduce the font size so that we'll make it 24. That is fine. Okay, now accounting entries at the time of goods receipt. So I'll make this as automatic. Okay, now I'll copy, or I'll write afresh so that you will not be confused. I'll write accounting entries at the time of invoice posting. Okay, at the time of invoice posting, right? All right. So okay, so let me put this also. We'll put it after some time. Now it first, always you remember GRAR clearing account, how much it was credited? 100, right? System always tries to clear the clearing accounts. GRAR is a clearing account. Okay, a clearing account must be cleared at the end of procurement cycle process. Now at the time of invoice, system what it will do first? It will make an entry. Okay, where GRIR clearing account first it will do. GRIR, instead of writing, I'll copy this. How much debit it will do, correct? At the time of GR it did credit, now it will do debit. Correct? Yes. Now, all right. So now system has did this, but what accountancy rule says that okay, at the invoice you have done this much entry, debit entry you have done. Where is the credit entry? Yes. What is the credit entry? It is supplier's liability. Who is the supplier? For supplier account, it will be supplier liability. Liability means I owe to pay. How much I owe to pay to the supplier? Credit. That is why suppliers are called creditors. Okay, you got it? Okay, so how much? 100 euros, correct? 100 euros you have to pay to the supplier. You got this now? What I'll do now, I'll insert an Excel sheet here. You see, you will understand very neatly. You can also insert an Excel sheet here. I think yes, what I remember. Insert an Excel sheet is option is there, but if it is an old version, it won't be there. Insert an Excel sheet. Yeah, Excel sheet is there. Instead of Excel sheet, we can insert a table, right? That will be easier. It will be troubling like anything. So let me delete this. Okay, what we'll do is, let me insert the table of some Okay, what we'll do now, see, a GL account, okay, okay, this is a GL account, remember, inventory GL account. So I'll write this, okay, the GL account is inventory, spare parts inventory, parts GL account, general ledger account, okay. What I'll do, so I'll match these two cells, match cells, correct. Why? For debit and credit, correct. This I'll write it as debit, this I'll write it as credit. And what I'll do, I'll simply extend this, okay, and this also I'll split club net cells. What I'll do, at the time of, at the time of, at the time of goods receipt, correct. This also, okay. I have to club this also, okay. I'll put this, yes, I'll club this also, match cells, okay. At the time of goods receipt, what we'll do, this, what is the GRAR clearing account, GRIR clearing account, okay. We'll do like this, on the top we should not keep this, okay. So let me delete row, okay. uh, so let us delete this. What I'll do, GRI clearing account, I'll match this, okay, match cells, okay. This is credit, debit and credit, credit, and this is credit, okay. So now let me drag this here, okay, and I will insert a left side a column, inside column to the left. Why? Will appreciate, at the time of GR, time of GR means goods received. Otherwise, if you are confused, I'll write, I'll write I'll write at the time of goods received, okay. This is which GL account? Spare parts GL account. What is GL means? General ledger. See, I will explain you in a separate lesson what is general ledger, what is sub ledger, all those stuffs I'll explain. Don't get worried. Okay. Now, another GL we need, right? At the time of invoice. So now you see, another, what I'll do, I'll write this supplier 2572. Okay. And so I will match this. That is fine. Okay. Again debit and credit, correct? For every GL account will have two sides. This is called T chart representation. Okay, T chart representation, debit and credit. See, basically I am an engineer, but still I have learnt financial accounting and controlling also, okay, to a major extent. You should really appreciate what is happening when you post a goods receipt, when you post a invoice receipt. But in real time, I have seen that many people simply they mug up how the system is behaving. Okay, supplier, or we can say supplier is a subledger. When what the system does is, while posting invoice, it will update subledger, supplier invoice, supplier number, as well as same, both are same. It is parallelly, it will update reconciliation account, reconciliation account, reconciliation supplier 2570 is a subledger, but when you are talking general ledger, we have to say reconciliation account. What is the reconciliation account? I'll explain you. Wait. Okay, in the next classes. Okay. What you will write is domestic payable. Domestic payable. Okay. So this is okay. Let me once refresh the SAP screen. Otherwise, it will go off. Okay. Follow on documents. What is the description they have given? Vendor 2572. This is subledger. Can you see general ledger view? Click on this. Reconciliation account, it will come 1 lakh. Can you see 1 lakh 60,000 AP domestic? What is AP domestic? See, 1 lakh 60,000 is, I'll give the accounting numbers also. Okay, AP domestic payable. What is the description? AP domestic. Okay, if you want to see the long text, no, simply click on this GL account. What is the full long text? It will be there. Okay, we can see that. All right, AP domestic, correct? AP means account payable domestic. Okay, AP domestic. Domestic means within the country, correct? Yes. And the account numbers also I'll give. Okay, let me give this. So we'll put remarks here. If required, we'll write the remarks. And okay, spare parts. Okay, all right. So what is the GL account for AP domestic? 1 lakh, and GRIR clearing account is how much? 191100. I'll write here. I'll write here 191100. See, every GL account number has a name and a key and a description. What is the key? 191100 is a number, and the key description is GRIR clearing account. It is 3,40,000. What I remember, we'll ensure it. Okay, and what is the domestic? 1,60,000, right? 1,60,000, correct? Okay, all right. So at the time of goods receipt, here we will remove this way. We'll put here. All right. Now we'll leave this columns blank. Okay, not applicable, and this is not applicable. Okay. All right. So at the time of GR, how much? 100 debit was there. 100 debit was there, right? How much was the debit? Debit was 100. Okay, inventory debited. That means our inventory value increased by 100. You cannot offset in the same GL account. But means what? Net effect will be 0, right? So where it will offset? In the ERP system, it will offset to credit side of the GRIR clearing account. Now save at the time of okay, invoice posting. At the time of invoice posting, how much? First, system always tries to clear what? Keep in mind, system always makes an attempt, tries to clear the clearing accounts first. What is the clearing account? GRIR clearing account. How much it will post? 100 in yeah. Okay, debit mean plus, credit mean minus. Remember that. Okay. Okay. Now so at the time of invoice, JRI clearing account is debited. Okay, it should offset to somewhere, right? Where it will offset? Liability. Vendor liability is how much? Credit. So supplier liability is 100, right? All right. Now I'll minimize this. I'll remove all these rows. I'll delete all these rows. Okay, now it's simplified, and I'll put this slide here, and what I'll write here, what is the all this stuff, I'll write it here. Okay, I'll match first all these cells. I'll match all these cells. Okay, then I'll enter all this stuff here. Okay, got it? How simplified we have accounting entries, right? Material mat 6. I'll write, if you want, I'll write plant also. What is a plant? Plant 1212, right? Company code where we used in invoice, where we use the plant, where we entered the plant in the purchase order, right? Okay, plant is this, company code is this. In the company code we used in the uh, purchase order also. What is the purchasing group? If you remember purchasing group, please look at all of my videos. This is the fourth video, and this is invoice entry basics. What is the purchasing group? 121 we used it, correct? What is the PO number? Okay, PO number, I am not referring to our PO number, but in general this is the accounting entries. Now what I'll do, I'll minimize this, I'll reduce further the size of this so that you can see it very clearly. Alright, okay, now I'll minimize all this stuff. I'll minimize this all stuffs. Okay, now you got an idea why GRIR clearing account is required. It is a what we call, it is a requirement for double entry system. Okay, right. So what I'll do, this font also I'll reduce further so that we can accommodate both here. I'll keep it 20. So I'll remove this. I'll remove this guy here once, and can I? If I reduce further, that will be very good. So that I keep this here, and I'll keep this here. Okay, I think a little bit reduction if I do, it will accommodate both in the same scale. Let us now, so little bit I'll move this to left. Got it? Yes. Now we are done. We are good to go. Now you see, got it now? At the time of goods receipt, how much? Debit was 100 euros. Currency I have not specified here. Okay, if you want, I will maintain the currency also. Debit euros. You can write. You can write 100 euros. Okay. Currencies I'll write here. Currency is euros. You should be very specific, right? Every time. Currency. Supplier currency will write here. PO currency. Okay, anyhow, it is there, no currency euro for each is there, right? That's fine. So now we are good to go, right? You understood what are the accounting liability. Okay. Now we got this. Okay. Why it is required? How we are working with, why GRIR at the time of goods receipt, debit inventory debit, and also you simply keep a simple rule: what comes in is debit for inventory account, what comes in is debit, what goes out is credit for stock accounts, that is inventory accounts. So let me show you one more time all the accounting entries. Okay. Now we'll go to the purchase, goods receipt. Or how we can go to goods receipt from here itself? We can go to the purchase order history, and click on the material document. You can see here financial accounting document. Can you see spare parts is 3 lakhs 4,000, not the 40,000. 3 lakhs 4,000. 304,000. Yes. Okay, that's why. Okay. At the time of 6 debit and offsets to GRIR clearing account is this value. Okay. For this example, this is the offsetting entry. Okay. Debit is 100 for this example. For this case, for this scenario, 100 is debit at the time of goods receipt, and 100 is this is the debit, and this is the credit is GRIR clearing account. So let us give a color coding also, that it will be very nice. Okay, we fill. Okay, to have a basic separation, differentiation. Okay, we'll fill. Okay, we'll fill with, okay, like this. Okay, and we'll fill domestic as another color. Will fill. Okay, so this is one GL account, and this is another GL account. First one is okay. These are three different GL accounts, correct? You got it? Yes. So at the time of goods receipt, 100 is the debit, offsetting entries credited to GRIR clearing account, and at the time of oh sorry, this we have to format. Okay, we'll do the filling. So we did this. All right. So at the time of invoice posting, 100 is the GRAR clearing account cleared and it offset to vendor liability, that is AP domestic. 1,60,000 is the reconciliation account. What is reconciliation account? Is nothing but all the subledgers. Suppose vendor 2572 is there, that is the domestic supplier. Okay, what I'll do in that supplier master, I'll give 1,60,000 as the reconciliation account. Okay, reconciliation means what? What are the procurement values for the supplier 2572 should be aggregated to or accumulated to 1,60,000. Okay, so and if I have 2570 is there, for that also I have given 1,60,000, then what happens? All those it will update individually the subledgers and parallelly it will update the reconciliation account. That is nothing but reconciliation account. Reconciliation account is a general ledger. Vendor account is vendor supplier account itself is a subledger. Okay, all right. See, in financial accounting, a day book will be there, journal will be there, a journal, after that subledger will be there, like suppliers, and after subledger you will have general ledgers. That's all. And we have golden rules of accountancy. Okay, such rules we will understand in a separate lesson. But as of now, to appreciate, just remember, for inventory or for stock posting, for stock GL account, what comes in, that means what is coming inside the premises is the debit entry. What is going outside the stores for a business purpose, okay, for a project requirement, that means from the stores it is going out, right? So that means from the GL, inventory value is getting reduced. What goes out is credit. You remember that as of now, to appreciate, to go further, and to learn the SAP MM and invoice verification. All right, so we can stop it here with invoice verification basics. Though it is basics, we have done a lot of stuff. We have learnt a lot. A lot of stuff we have learnt, and we have understood Miro screen areas, and we have understood concepts of related to financial accounting and the screen areas of invoice. And we have learnt how the GL accounting entries are done, why GRAR clearing account is required. Purely GRAR clearing account is maintained in softwares only. In real time, GRAR clearing account we may not need to maintain. GRAR clearing account is required as double entry system is compelling us to maintain GRAR clearing account at the time of goods receipt. Why? We will not pay to the supplier at the time of goods receipt. We will wait for invoice to come. But until invoice comes, we cannot wait for offsetting entry, right? System cannot wait, no? So it is a legal requirement to offset to another GL account, right? So now we have understood fully the invoice verification with the fundamentals and also accounting entry basics, financial accounting entry basics. So with this, we will end up invoice verification, logistics invoice verification. And please like, share and subscribe to my channel. What is my channel? You know, right? My channel name is Lear Effective. Okay, my YouTube channel is this one. Okay, right. So this I remove this and I remove this. So we are done with invoice verification. Okay, all right. So we'll end up this session. We'll wind up this session, and also we have completed unit 2. Unit 1 was introduction. I had uploaded unit 1 introduction video. One video is pending, that is how to access SAP system and easy access terminologies. Okay, that I'll make it today itself and I'll upload that. And this video is purely speaking about invoice verification basics. This belongs to unit 2. Unit 2 we have completed all the lessons. What are the 3 lessons? Purchase order entry basics, goods receipt entry basics, and invoice verification basics. What I'll do, I'll make another video wherein I'll create a complete cycle for purchase order, goods receipt and invoice verification. Simple procurement cycle, I'll upload another video that will become 4th lesson of unit 2. Next I'll start unit 3. I thought of starting master data, but what I'll do, I'll give you an introduction to enterprise structure. Unit 3 I will start with enterprise structure. So unit 4 we will start master data. Please visit my website so that you will come to know all the topics of SAP MM as well as SAP MDG, as well as SAP ABAP and SAP SD module as well. And I'll take some time and I'll upload videos in SAP MDG, SAP SD module and SAP ABAP module, right? Okay, so please like, share and subscribe to my channel, okay? And my channel name is Lead Effective, okay? And you have seen my channel, right? This is my channel, okay? And thanks for watching this video. Yeah.